Hello, 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 everyone. How is it going? We are back. Unfortunately, due to life things, we did have to lose a space MB, but he may be back in the future, and we may find, at least in the short term, a replacement. But that's not going to happen today. So, in um, in the vein of Space MB, who wants to be our new scribe?
Oh,
And tell us what happened last week. I think that's actually the first time I've been able to say that. What happened last week? We are finally back in the weekly schedule that this was always planned to be.
Speaking of which, is Space MV gonna share all their notes?
I don't know.
Okay.
We haven't talked that far. I don't see why not.
Okay. Because I don't mind taking on Scribe. I just would prefer having those notes from the previous sessions.
Yeah.
But so
I have some notes from last time, but since I wasn't planning on scribing, I think it might make more sense for me to tag team with somebody else who took some notes.
yeah. Okay, so we started off with getting we finally got our official assignments was the major thing that happened. And before that happened, so we were meeting with Jamandi, and we were taking a rest for a little while in our room, and then Magar Varn came and visited us and apologized for seeming like a douche. And he basically was like, of all of the different adventurers that are going to be going into the Greenbelt, I think you guys are the most capable, and so I want to make sure that you know that I can be your ally, and when it comes down to it, Lady Jumandi's going to ask you for help, and you should support her. That was like the TLDR of what he said. Is there any other important bits that I'm forgetting from that conversation?
He said that she will support you. She'll support whoever ends up taking out the Stag Lord. And
Right.
He didn't say you should support her. He said, I hope you support her.
Right.
So yeah, just a little bit slightly different with your wording there. But other than that, yeah.
He did also point us. He gave us the heads up on Oleg and Svetlana's place, which is where we wound up.
Yeah.
Did I end up sharing with you the art for Oleg and Svetlana? Because there is art of the two of them.
I think you did. Yeah, because we have their tokens.
Well, there are art handouts for both of them. I did not. Okay, so this is Oleg.
Yep.
He looks very handsome.
Looks kind of sad.
He does kind of have a sad look to his face.
And there's Svetlana.
Very pretty.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. So you were told about them.
And then we kind of had like a team huddle where we kind of like talked about what our actual not really plan, but kind of it was sinking in what the reality of our mission was, and we were talking about okay, so who are we going to be as adventurers? It was very existential. And I think we landed somewhere in like deciding that we were going to create the first socialist nation in the realm. We were definitely big on like wanting to rehabilitate any bandits. That was a
Yeah.
big thing we discussed.
Maybe put
And
them
then
in rehabilitation camps.
shush. Um and then we went
Gotta
to the
concentrate them all together.
Father.
Sorry,
Stop.
just how you worded that.
uh, um we went to the ceremony. There were some masked people.
Armored.
Armored people.
Yeah. The
Yeah,
Iron
the
Wraiths.
Iron Wraiths.
Iron Wraiths, yes. So there was four charters. There was the armored people,
Mm-hmm.
the Magar Varn's people,
Mm-hmm.
us, and I forget who the fourth were.
I believe his name is Draylov. Let me double check.
Oh, were those the people who were just being dicks in the beginning?
The Iron Wraiths, yes.
Okay.
Baron Hannes Draylev.
Okay. And then when we looked at the thing, it very much put a wrench in our plans because it was telling us that we had to kill any unrepentant bandits.
Which
was a
is
long
where the
dis-
whole repentation thing came from.
Yes. After that, we went to a city.
A
Where
town.
a small town on our way to Oleg's. And oh, we bought a horse. We bought two horses.
And a
amongst
wagon.
other things, and a wagon. We bought two horses and a wagon, Marmalade and Boysenberry.
They have pictures now.
They do have pictures now. And then we went wagon and all towards Oleg's, made our way to a town where nobody seemed to want us there. Heard some gossip. Apparently, Varn's folks had been through there, and what else? Most of this is just from memory.
You got two of you got rumors. The two who
I
were
was not one of them.
not good with charisma.
Yeah.
I think it was Marlowe and Gorick.
Yeah.
I think that's right, and everyone else just got to hear about the Varnlings making everybody mad.
Mhm.
I know Gorek heard about an old ruin somewhere to the west that was maybe built by elves, maybe full of treasure, maybe full of evil spirits and worse, maybe all of the above. And then I think Marlowe heard about amulets resembling a stag skull that are
Cult.
associated with some, debased cult dedicated to a horrifying animal demon or something like that.
Yes.
Gotta love it.
So really, really fun stuff.
Love it.
And then what happened after you left that town?
We passed by some waterfalls. We got to Oleg's.
Got hot.
It did get hot, and some folks weren't used to it. Specifically, those two folks.
Hi, it's us, the folks.
Yeah. The person from the far north used to a the everlasting winter, and the person
From
who
under the
is
sea.
yes, who is literally from underwater.
So, Marlo, when a sea witch wants your voice, say no.
No shit.
It
Well,
does.
it's okay. It's okay. You have legs.
Yeah, why would I need a sea witch? God damn.
Yeah. Um. Okay, and then we got to Oleg's, and we were happily surprised to find Lindsay there.
Yeah.
That was awesome. And Lindsay said she would join us on our adventures. And she was very excited. She was very happy. That was nice. And then Oleg and Svetlana let us know about how there have been bandits coming by pretty consistently. There are two leaders. One is the we one was like a stupid guy who was really crude, and I think we killed him.
Yes.
We killed him, and the other one didn't end up coming that day when we were waiting to ambush them. Was a like sadistic woman who really enjoyed torture. And two of the bandits got away.
Do you not remember the most horrific thing that she did when she was there?
She stole their wedding ring, right?
She stole Svetlana's wedding ring.
Yeah.
That's just rude.
Yeah. We need to get that back for them.
Yeah.
Oleg still has his, but Svetlana's was stolen.
Okay.
So that is where
that's
we
what
left.
I can remember.
Yep.
Yeah, is two of them getting away.
Two got away. One of them, the one who could cast spells. Do you know what spell he cast as he ran away with his horse? He cast Expeditious Retreat on his horse.
Ah, very fast.
So
Very fast.
he was gone. No matter what, you were not catching him.
And the other one, the horse was just very fast.
Yeah, we tried very hard to stop it
Yeah,
unsuccessfully.
yeah, and the horse ran away with his unconscious rider.
Yes. So that is where we left off. One of the things that you guys are going to notice, and like you probably noticed it during the battle, but it is just sinking in. Both Haps and the other guy, they have a necklace on, and the pendant of the necklace is a stag skull in silver.
Oh, we found the cult.
Yeah, well.
Mm-hmm.
That was easy.
They both have it.
That was easy.
Dang, yeah, they found us.
We need a Staples button.
or not.
Well.
It's so much fun.
So Oleg, he thanks you very much, and he's just like, well, obviously help yourself to whatever you want from those guys. Whatever you don't take, I'll use as new stock. It's not much, but this is what we have, and he hands you a small pouch that has 12 gold inside.
Who should be treasurer now?
Should I do that as well.
I mean, I'm happy to do it if it's all the same to everybody else, just so you don't have to do both things.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm happy for Gork to be party treasurer.
Yeah.
I mean, especially since he has so much carry capacity.
I mean, Gorik should definitely be party bank. Should he be the treasurer?
Yeah, I can hold the money, but not have authority to.
Like, Roboduck, sure, definitely should be treasurer. Gorik?
Gorik is reasonably well.
You are going to be the person who holds the money because you are the person who can carry the most.
That seems reasonable. How much gold was that again? 12?
Yes, this was 12 gold.
All right.
In a pouch.
He says, also, let me get some stuff from my storeroom for you. As he starts walking over, does anyone want to follow him?
Yeah, I guess I'll follow him.
Okay.
I'll go with him. Where is he going?
He's going to his storeroom. So he's going here, and you are going here, and then I'm going to move this door.
Oh, hey, now I can see. Cool.
So yeah, what you end up seeing is sorry, this is the stock room. The storeroom is a different room.
Okay, stockroom.
As he's kind of rummaging through a few things, you see a suit of leather armor just kind of sitting on a shelf, a heavy wooden shield, a couple hand axes, a few javelins, a long bow, a few arrows, a scythe, 2 spears, and then he grabs 2 potions, and then what would that be in 5th edition? Because remember, I'm actually reading a Pathfinder campaign book and then translating it into 5th edition as needed. So that would be...
That's tricky.
One of my actual favorite parts about the new rules is in the adventuring gear section. They have a entry on everything. Whereas in the 2014 rules, most things didn't have an entry. Like, do I need to know what a bedroll has? Not necessarily, but I'm glad in case I need it. So it would be 2. He has 2 vials of a red liquid and 1 vial of a green liquid.
Sounds like health and stamina. Okay. Are there any weapons that look interesting?
I don't know. Did any of the weapons that I listed sound interesting to you?
No.
Okay. What are the other 2 doing while Oleg and Marlowe are doing this?
I'd like to inspect the bodies of the bandits.
Okay. For what?
I mean, obviously useful loot would be nice, but also just seeing, I mean, they have the pendant, seeing if there's other things that especially the leader may be carrying that could link him to the what is it, the Stag Lord?
The Stag Lord, yeah.
The Stag Lord, yeah.
Okay, so Haps has 12 gold, a set of leather armor, traveling clothes, a long bow with 19 arrows, and a short sword.
Okay.
And a dagger.
Okay. I hand the 12 gold to Gorek and
fine.
list off everything else if anyone else wants any of the things there.
I think I'm good, but thank you.
Can I take
You-
that short sword, maybe? That count? Am I allowed to use that?
You would want to use your hand axes instead, because the
Okie dokie,
short
never mind.
sword is a martial weapon, and you
Oh.
aren't
But-
proficient in martial weapons.
Actually, maybe I want the
Understood.
short sword.
But you might want the dagger because I know you're collecting daggers, and if you're going to plan on ever throwing daggers, it might be useful to have an extra one.
Dagger. Okay.
How many daggers do you have?
2.
I thought
Okay.
you took like 15 before.
I sold 15.
Oh, you sold them all. I thought you were just keeping a bunch of daggers on your person.
Nah, we got good money out of that.
I take it back. I don't actually want the short sword. It seems like it's just a hand axe that isn't a hand axe. So
Yes. And you're gonna piss off your god again.
yeah, I don't need that.
I will take the pendants as well.
Okay.
Because those might be useful. So I will add those. There's 2 of them, yes?
Yep.
I will add those. to
I
my
will
inventory.
also just kind of remind you that you're at a shopkeeper's establishment
Mhm.
and there is loot
Yes.
on the ground.
Okay.
Saying we can immediately sell these things? Question mark.
I'm just reminding you of the situation and letting you decide what you want from that.
If Oleg will let us immediately sell things to, well, I don't think Gorik would do that. I feel like Gorik would be inclined to just let him have it. So especially since they've been shaking Oleg and Svetlana down.
Yeah. Yeah, I think after we take what we need, we would just turn it over to Oleg and Svetlana.
The other guy has 8 gold pieces, a short sword, a longbow, studded leather armor, and traveling clothes.
Gorik will bank the 8 gold, I'm assuming.
Mm-hmm.
Beep.
Um,
Mm.
And I think to the extent possible, while this is happening, I think Gorik wants to try and familiarize himself with the prints that the horses left when they fled. But he's not. He's going to take it easy in doing so, in the hopes that, in a meta sense, we can do a short rest because he let himself get stabbed a lot again because reckless attack.
you have a talent about that.
Do I?
I'll be right back.
Of getting stabbed? Yeah.
Oh yes, I do. So I was hoping that the talent would help me. I was hoping it was a different talent, but yes, there's a lot of Gorik to stab.
And then, Lovely, why don't you make a medicine check while you're looking over everyone?
Sure. That's a 19.
Okay. So, what you'll notice is, these guys seem relatively like well fed and, at least what the books you've read about evil demonic cultists, they don't seem to match that at all.
Can I do like a because I'm not sure that Lovely would come to this conclusion on her own, but can I do like a including the medicine check, like an insight or an investigation check with advantage to try and discern whether I think that it's possible that these are mercenaries who've been hired by a cult?
Not advantage, but insight, sure.
Insight, sure. Okay. 15.
Okay. You're not sure that mercenaries would be would have the pendant of a cult that they were just hired for.
Mm.
That kind of sounds weird to you.
That does sound pretty weird.
Yeah. I mean, unless they were like intentionally like trying to pass off as the cult was what I was thinking.
I mean, that would be an explanation for the weird. Is that a good explanation? Maybe.
I think that are we planning Gorek, Marlowe? Are we planning on pursuing these bandits to their hideout?
That's certainly what Gorik wants to do. I'm worried that now that these folks have been, we know that there's a lot more of them than came today, and
We've killed one of their leaders.
yes, but not, given that it wasn't their, what sounds like their big boss who's extra sadistic, I think I'm concerned that they're going to take revenge on Oleg and Svetlana and like come and try and burn their house down or something.
Yeah.
So, Oleg and Oleg's obviously back since Marlowe is by this point, and he says, on one hand, you do have a point there. We humiliated them pretty badly. These are very vengeful people. However, I think they're cowards. I think they are just your run-of-the-mill bullies. And when people stand up to them, they don't immediately go back. And with that help from Restov on its way, hopefully by the time any second attack would happen, we will have nothing to worry about.
Me in real life forgot that there were folks coming from Restov to protect and patrol and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
Yep. And he said, as much as I support you going and finding this camp, we have no idea where it is. We think it's about a day's ride on a horse away, but
you couldn't tell us what direction?
South. They always come from the south.
That's something.
But I mean, do they travel south for an hour and then hook east for 7 hours? We don't know.
Yeah. I do think, because one of our tasks is to destroy the Stag Lord, correct?
Yeah.
Me.
And explore. I assume that's, I mean, I guess I don't know how much they're part and parcel.
Right. I just think that, I mean, given these, and Lovely holds up the pendants, I feel like we should do our due diligence to at least follow this lead.
Yeah, well,
I'm
perhaps
gonna remind everybody we're level 2.
well, and I would also note, and I think this is an inclination Gorik would have in characters. It is, if we can find out where they are, it doesn't mean that we have to attack them. Like, just in the same way that you want to know where dangerous animals live when you're passing through their territory, even if we can just kind of find out generally where they're operating, we could then purposefully stay away.
Yeah. And that could also be something that we can mark on our map.
Yep, and come back to later.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that is probably wise. I'm getting the sense that we should not run in after these folks.
So we're not ambushing them, but we should potentially go on a scouting mission.
Yes.
That
Seems
sounds
reasonable.
good. I think.
Well, I think that is a good idea, Oleg says. I wonder, can you find their camp without them finding you? There might not be an opportunity to find the camp and then leave without violence.
Surely, if we stay a good distance away, we could notice the camp and not actually go into it.
He gestures over to the gnarl marshes, the very thick forest that's not that far away. If it's in there, not necessarily.
We're also not very sneaky. Like, even if Gorik takes off his armor so that he doesn't have disadvantage on stealth, the +2 is the best we have, and I burned my heroic inspiration trying to catch a horse.
Well, fuck.
Marlo, what do you think is the best next course of action?
I don't want to fight bandits right now.
I agree. I don't think we should be looking for a fight.
Okay.
Sorry.
That being said, I don't think we should be stomping around a tightly knit forest looking for some bandits that we aren't intending to fight.
Out of character, I will remind you that at least part of the gnarl marches is part of what you are going to have to map. You don't have to start there, but eventually you'll have to go.
No, absolutely.
What is kind of the directions? Like, speaking of that, so of like where we could go, to begin our scouting.
Sure. Let's pop on over to the map and not break into song.
I'm the map. I'm the map. I'm the map.
I said not break into song.
I was only doing it in my head.
Okay, so it would be, I need to pull up the
We're at
handout
RL.
again.
Are we at RL1 at this point?
Yes, you are. You're in RL1.
Okay, so that whole forest there, that's the gnarl marches.
Yes. And as you can see, like, the nearest part of the gnarl marches is 12 miles away.
Yeah.
That's a bit of a ways.
Yeah, I mean, to the extent that I don't know if the grassland. I mean, the grassland's probably preferable, at least to the extent that we don't have known bandits there.
Yeah.
Okay, so you see the river that goes southwest from RL4.
Mm-hmm.
That is the Shrike River.
Mm-hmm.
And you see where it meets with another river just above that little lake thing?
Yeah.
That river that it meets is the Skunk River.
Okay, yeah.
So, in your charter, and also the Skunk River goes over to that's where.
Yeah.
So your charter says exploration should be limited to an area west and south of Oleg's trading post, no farther than the banks of the Shrike and Skunk rivers. So you have basically a triangle.
Oh, okay. So, like, if I may, this, right?
A little farther up on the east side, going basically to the red line, but yes. That is basic. You were basically right.
Okay, so like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we could always start going to the east.
Yeah. Please continue talking amongst yourselves.
I started talking and then realized I was muted because I'm a professional. No, I agree. I think that starting out in a spot where we have a town one direction and Oleg and Svetlana's in the other direction keeps us with a good safety net as we kind of acclimate to the area. Although I will say that looking more forward, I think that I would appreciate it if we can be close to a river so that I can jump in and cool down. But
Okay,
I second that notion.
So maybe what we can start with is going this way, right? And then kind of following the river after that.
that sounds perfect.
And then if we ever need to backtrack, we can go to the town or we can go to the town, yeah.
So, something that you are going to want to remember is exploring a hex to like map it. You can do at most one a day.
Right.
Just traveling, you can do at most 2 a day. There are the different colorations do tell of different types of land. So like that lighter green that you're in right now is a grassland. The darker green is a hilly area. And then obviously the gnarl marches are the gnarl marches. They're a thick forest and they look very foresty, luckily.
Gotcha. I think for my part, I still like the plan of heading east and then going down to the rivers and traveling that way. I mean, I suppose the alternative is we just head pretty much south, skirt the gnarl marches, and then get to the rivers there and go east.
My worries is if we head south, we still may end up running into those bandits. And if the point is to avoid them before we're more prepared, then I think heading east is the safer option.
I agree.
I'm good either way.
East.
I would want to take a short rest before we head out for the day, unless that means we couldn't explore a hex.
I mean,
rest is only 1 hour, right?
Yeah, you could probably do that. I'm more thinking about how much rations you guys have. Because especially, like, you would have been using rations the last 5 days to get here.
Let me see.
And I don't know if
should
you guys...
I subtract the rations that I used?
Yeah.
Okay. I have 2 days of rations left. And I have been subtracting my feed per day for each of the horses as well.
So I have 5 days of rations. I have a banking question, which is, should I add the gold that Reese was carrying around to Gorek's inventory for banking purposes?
How much gold does Reese have right now?
206.
Why don't you take 100 of it?
That seems reasonable to me.
I started out with 9 rations. Do I subtract 5?
Yep.
Okay, so I have 4 rations left.
So that's 4 days.
Hey, Oleg, Svetlana, do you sell travel rations?
Yes, we do have some.
Okay. So let's stock up.
Okay.
And you say it takes a whole day to do a hex, to map a hex?
Yes.
Right? Okay, so is the hex we're currently in, that one south of RL1, is that currently mapped?
No.
Okay. Interesting. Okay. So,
But luckily, that is also the only hex that you guys know of that you could map and end the night at Oleg's. So you wouldn't need rations for that day.
that's true. Okay, so 1, 2, because I'm thinking if we take 1, 2, 3, if we make sure that we have 4 days rations, we can get back to RL4. What was the name of that town?
The RL4 is the waterfalls.
Oh, RL4 is the waterfalls.
It's
Which is
BV2.
It is
BV2 is the
BV2.
town?
Yep.
BV2 is the town. Okay.
Which is outside
Of the
your
exploratory.
area.
Okay,
Yep.
cool. Okay. Okay, so we take 1, 2, 3. Okay, so what if we should set a hex that we want to like be our endpoint, and then we come back to Oleg's to restock, right?
That's probably a good idea.
So if we make it to, I think, this hex where the rivers meet, I think that's a good stopping point. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, so 8 days rations because we have to go back.
Yeah, I'd say we get 10 total just to make sure we have enough.
Yeah,
Well,
because we don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, and at most, it's still either we're giving up on exploring, coming back to be able to move 2 hexes per day,
Mm-hmm.
or we're trying to double up exploring and we're only moving 1 hex any direction. I think my inclination is that we take enough rations so that we can explore both on the way out and the way back. So then if for some reason we need to move faster, we'll have more than enough rations.
Do Oleg and Svetlana also have horse feed?
Yes, they
Okay.
do. They've got
Feed per day?
they have, but they only have like 10 days worth that they can spare because they also have a horse.
Okay.
And they only have a total of 14 days worth of rations.
Okay, got it.
Horse rations or rations in general?
People rations.
Oh, so maybe we do want to get back to BV2 to buy more rations. Unless, Oleg, Svetlana, will you be getting more stock in soon?
Oleg just kind of shrugs and goes, yeah, I mean, we've got hunters coming in. There's also enough hunters in the area that we always need to keep some rations on hand. So I'm sure in the next couple of days there'll be a trade caravan coming from Restov.
Yeah, and we're close enough to the road that on the traveling that we may run into people and be able to trade with people that we run into as well.
Sure. Yeah. Are the so just for my own understanding, are the hexes on which the road's located on, are those mapped?
They're outside of your charter.
Okay.
So
Is
the
the
answer
red
is
line-
maybe,
Okay.
but it's...
But we're not responsible for mapping them.
Yes.
Right. Okay, perfect.
That red line is the area where Brevoy can project power and kind of routinely does. The blue line is the border on a map.
Gotcha.
Gotcha. Okay, so I have 12 days of feed for the horses. We have 2 of them, so that will get us 6 days. So do we want to
Do we need to use I guess, is it necessary to expend the horse feed, our stock of horse feed, when we're staying with Oleg and Svetlana? Because it kind of sounds like it is.
yeah, because they have their own horse, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you will have free room and board, and again, this is and that counts for the horses as well.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
and like a horse feed is something that right now Oleg is not sure how much horse feed is going to be coming in with the next caravan. But with the next outgoing caravan, he can always just say, yeah, I'm going to permanently need more.
Yeah.
Well, does it make maybe in the short term? Does it make sense for us to stock up on feed, and then because I don't know what the weight mechanics are for the
So the horses, each of them can pull. Hold on. It's
Well,
in
here's also a question. Do you want to bring the horses and your wagon with you on exploring, or do you want to just keep the three of you, which would be a little bit faster?
That's true.
yeah. Well, and let me check something really quickly in terms of Gorek has 5 days of rations on him, and can carry. I can carry almost 83 more pounds on top of what he already has on him. So we could buy as many rations as they can provide,
Which I
and
think they
Gorik
said was 10, right?
14
14.
days of human rations.
can just haul them all around without being encumbered.
Yeah.
Good thinking.
Do we want to leave the wagon here?
It seems like that might be safer for the horses,
Okay.
Yeah.
but they're also not I don't want them to get lonely, but I mean, I suspect Oleg and Svetlana will take good care of them.
They
Yeah.
will, and they'll get to be with Claptrap.
I forgot that was their horse's name.
Their horse's name is
Um,
Claptrap.
Okay, so how many days do you think we want to be gone for?
At most 10.
Okay.
And are rations 5 silver each? I'm just assuming that Gorik should be spending money to get all of the rations.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Oleg will sell you rations at 7 gold pieces or 7 silver pieces each. And when he announces that, you catch a look that Svetlana shoots him, and he pretends to have not seen.
Is anybody who's not Gorik inclined to try and haggle here?
Somebody should roll
I
an
don't
insight.
I don't mind doing the 7 silver pieces.
Yeah, I mean, in character, Gorik doesn't mind. I mean, I think it works out to just a little less than 10 gold.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine by me.
Alrighty, so I'll pay asking.
I mean, there's also the fact that anytime you stay with them, you get free room and board. You're gonna have to have a long-term relationship with them. Do you really want to?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It's just like I think they've already offered us so much. Like,
Yeah, I'm perfectly happy to give them whatever they're asking for whatever they're giving us.
Yeah.
They deserve fair pay for their goods and services. I don't fucking know.
they're also further out from the city, so like they like having a higher asking price for things just makes sense.
I mean, this is still not that bad of a price. So
Yeah.
But before you guys are even thinking about leaving for the day, Svetlana will not hear of it until after breakfast.
Okay.
You are
Yeah.
required to eat breakfast.
That sounds great.
Does Lindsay join us for breakfast?
Lindsay does join you for breakfast.
Yay!
What do you want to talk to Lindsay about?
Did all of the racket wake you up?
She said, I mean, I did end up sleeping in a little bit, didn't I?
Okay.
Yeah. And then, I need to grab something that I haven't used in years.
Oh, bother.
It's the 2014 DM screen.
Oh!
So breakfast this morning is it would be a very hearty oatmeal.
Tasty.
With like currants and stuff and such, to provide a little bit of flavor.
Yum.
Tasty. I'm also going to tell Lindsay that we're planning on going out and beginning our exploration. And
She says, "Okay. When do we leave?"
we were planning on heading out after breakfast.
Yeah, I could probably be ready for that. I assume you're going to need a cartographer.
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful.
That would be most helpful.
Yeah. So Lindsay is going to be joining you.
Meta question.
Yeah.
Speaking of cartography, are we allowed to like write on this map notes?
Sure.
Cool. Because I think that would be helpful. So, RL1 is Oleg's, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And it's in the hex that you're in right now.
Okay, so it's in that hex. Okay. So...
If you move to the side, if I move Gorik a little bit, you will see where it is. That little dot.
Right on the edge of the map.
Okay.
The end of the world.
I mean, Oleg kind of is at the end of the world, by design.
Yeah. So...
Okay, are you guys going? I assume you guys are going to be going exploring this hex first.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the hex that we're in. That makes sense.
Okay. Okay, so yeah, you guys set out. Let me actually see what the weather's going to be like today.
Yay!
Weather.
In my TTRPG?
Yep, there's going to be weather.
That's crazy, dog.
I am very glad that we are using mostly digital books, because right now I've got 3 physical books and the DM screen, and then I have 6 PDFs open.
Yay!
That's a lot of books.
Many tabs.
That is why I can't read chat.
No. That's why we should get you one of them big scholar wheel things. You know where they put the book on it and they spin it and you can read the different book.
Um, it would probably
I know
just
what I'm
be
on about.
easier to just get me a fourth monitor. But with how short of a time I've been working with 3 monitors, it might be a little soon to go up to 4. But when I get to 4, there will be a day where I'm like, you know what, 5 could work.
I need to
I
go back
only
to my
have
2
2.
monitor life.
I'm happy with 2.
I haven't had a 2 monitor life in like 3 years, and I miss it.
It was very
Um,
nice for work.
Mm-hmm.
I need the 3 monitors at least.
That's so many monitor.
Mm-hmm.
Much screen.
Much screen, such wow.
Okay,
Oy.
let me. I. We're bumping up very close to the reason why we're not doing this in Pathfinder, because there are parts of the Pathfinder rules that just fucking piss me off, and
Okie
the weather. Like right now, I'm trying to figure out what the temperature of this fucking thing is. Okay, so it would be. Yeah, over the course of the day, at the hottest part of the day, it's gonna be in like the mid to upper 90s.
yucky.
That's terrible.
I don't like that.
This is Fahrenheit, not Celsius, right? Like we're alive.
Yes, it is not. It is not in Celsius.
um.
Although, do you guys know I have a favorite degree of weather?
Hmm.
It'd be -40. Do you know why? Because -40 is the same temperature. So can't be in Kelvin because number 1, Kelvin isn't degrees, and number 2, Kelvin doesn't have negatives. So it's only Fahrenheit and Celsius, and -40 is where the 2 meet.
Yeah.
Marlo, are you doing okay?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. And then let me see. So that would be.
Before I forget, were we able to turn the breakfast into an hour-long short rest? So
You can have a short rest, yes.
Yay.
I kind of assumed and already used a hit die.
Oh, something that I'm not sure if you guys know, one of the changes with the new D&D 5th edition rules versus the old one is on a long rest you get all of your hit die back, not half of them.
Yep.
So
That's one of my favorite changes.
I don't know that I'm in favor of that change, but because I think it takes out the slight amount of management that people had with hit die out of the equation.
I think the reason I'm in favor of it is because I think that there should be a reason to manage certain things, and I didn't think that there was enough of a justifiable reason to have that. I thought it was kind of arbitrary.
So, exploration. Are you going to be exploring the hex that you were in today? Or
Yes,
are you going to start? Okay.
The hex with Oleg's, yeah.
Wonderful. So yeah, as I was saying, it gets hot during the day. There are not really a lot of it's not really a lot of wind or anything, so it's kind of another still hot day. And like exploring this hex brings you guys pretty close to the edge of the Gnarl Marches. And in the later afternoon, as you are exploring that, you do see 5 people who look like ne'er-do-wells at a distance of about 200 feet from you, is when you first notice them. And they appear to notice you. What do you guys want to do?
Gork's gonna wave.
Waving sounds like a good idea. I'm not sure why we're waving. I got distracted, but we're waving.
I'm waving with a big smile on my face.
It looks like they have a little bit of a talk and start heading in your direction. And Lindsay starts looking nervous.
Lindsay,
no,
do
what's
you
wrong?
recognize these people?
No, but it's not often that you randomly run into small groups and they start heading toward you. I would say that's not a good sign. And as she is saying that, you notice each of them take a bow off of their back and start knocking arrows.
Oh no.
Well,
Oh.
darn. How far are they? Could they hear us if I yelled? Actually, it doesn't matter. Gork's gonna yell at them that they should probably repent, please.
I am
Do you
going-
need to get a cardboard sign that says repent?
Maybe.
How many of them are there?
5.
5.
Yeah.
Which one looks like the leader?
You can't tell.
Okay. I'm just going to
Real quick
Shoot.
though, Gorik, can you roll 2d6 for me?
Sure.
I don't like that.
Do you want the sum of the results?
Yes.
Or sum is 8.
8. Okay. Very faintly after you say repent please, you can the slight wind brings a little bit of laughter on the wind.
Dang.
I would like to cast Thaumaturgy and use its booming voice effect, which makes my voice 3 times louder as normal.
Okay.
And it gives me advantage on intimidation checks.
Okay.
And then I would like to yell, seriously, repent!
Okay.
It would be a much more beautiful world if we didn't go down the route of violence.
Okay. Does
So-
18 meet or exceed your AC, Lovely?
Wait, shouldn't I make an intimidation check first?
No, they're shy.
Not with your work. Not with what you were saying. That wouldn't intimidate them. That'd be an auto fail.
Oh.
Yeah. If you had chosen different words, yes, definitely. But the hey, please repent. It would be a more beautiful world if you do. That's not going to sway these particular guys at all.
Cool. Yeah, 18 hits my armor class.
Okay.
I think we're gonna have to kill these guys.
I'm rolling initiative already.
Okay.
I did do very well.
Oh, I think I have.
I got a 9.
I got a.
I got a rock.
So Lovely, please take 10 piercing damage.
Ooh.
Oh, that's okay.
And then... Oh, it wants us to go to the...
It's on a small map.
Where is...
Your combat map.
Yeah.
Mm,
I have lots and lots of maps.
I know.
For this adventure. I don't know if we have... We might not have just a random combat map. Let me check this one. Nope. Although this is a fun one. I will put you... I'll have you guys just kind of take a look at this map for a second while I...
Oh, you look for the combat map. I don't like this already.
Excuse me?
I don't like this. What?
Nightmare,
What the
nightmare,
fuck?
nightmare.
Why are
Is
those
this-
bugs so big? Why are those bugs so big?
That's
That,
just
that was just a map full of tokens, right?
yeah,
Father, why was that awful?
that's just a token map.
Yeah, but it's terrible.
Don't worry, you're gonna fight most of these at some point.
Thank you, Father.
You're welcome.
That doesn't make me feel better at all.
It doesn't make me feel better at all. I'm saying thank you sarcastically. He knows.
Oh no.
Remember, this goes up to level 20.
Ah,
So-
fuck.
Damn it! Why isn't there a blank? There's always a blank map. Why is there not a blank map? God damn it!
I don't know. Fluffy, do you know? Fluffy doesn't know, boss.
And then at some point, I'm gonna have to like fill out Lindsay's sheet because I do actually have stats for Lindsay. Does she have... Ooh, she would have it on this page.
Ah.
Okay, so right now we are going to head on over because we don't have a better one at the moment, and that's something I am definitely going to be working on next week. But we're going to the settlement page. Once you guys
Ah,
have
there we go.
towns, we'll be using these maps to map out the
Cool.
towns.
Fascinating.
Neat.
But if everyone would please add a turn, that would
Okay.
be wonderful. And let me check distances real quick. Okay, yeah, that's kind of what I thought. It's going to bring us to...
That was gross.
What?
Blowing my nose made me dizzy.
Oh, no.
Like, really lightheaded.
Very unpleasant.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Perhaps you should grab some
Okay.
water.
I'll be fine.
Okay. So you guys are going to need to be here.
You mean off the map?
No, you're still on the map.
All I see is a big square in the middle with some little squares in it.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
tokens are no longer on the map.
Yeah, the tokens, there's no map.
You should be.
Like, I found my token, but it's not on the map.
Mm-hmm.
Just
Whoa.
a second.
I think so. I see that the grid itself is extending.
Okay. Can you see it now?
No.
No.
Okay, I can see it, so we're just gonna kind of go from there.
Well, can you okay, see how there's like that big center square? If you move our tokens there, we can see it.
But then the other guys are gonna have to be well off the map because this map is too small for how far away you guys are.
Got it.
Yikes.
Yeah. Actually, what I'm going to do is Control Z. Okay, so I can actually see squares that you guys are on.
But we can't.
I still can't see the tokens.
Yeah, we can't see anything. Like I'm switching over to Zoom and I'm telling you that everything outside that center square, none of us can see.
Yeah, when I look
so
at
like
the
you
stream,
can't
I can
see
us.
yourself.
Yeah.
No, when I look at the stream and I look at my screen, it's different things.
Yeah.
Dad. Like, you have the tokens hanging out above the big box in the middle. We just got the big box.
Like
Can you see your tokens? Like physically
No.
see them?
We
No,
cannot
that's what I'm
see our
trying to
tokens.
say. We see them on the stream on Twitch, but that's it. So the only way we could see them is if you move them to the big box, because whatever outside the big box, on this map at least, we can't see.
Mhm.
Technical difficulties.
Okay. I don't know why it did it in that direction, but there. You should be able to
Yay!
see a whole bunch of like
Hooray!
white squares on two sides of it
Hey, look,
now.
it's transparent space.
Yes, we
Cool.
can.
Yep.
Fantastic.
And I see the tokens. Amazing. I can not look at my face in this Twitch stream anymore.
We can't see
Even
the
better.
enemies though.
Because they're not on yet.
Okay.
Why did you change the?
Everything okay?
The background color just changed because fucking why not?
Ironically, it's still the same for me, which is odd.
It blinked to be that weird to the color of the center tiles for a second, and then it went back to white.
Oh no! Before it started, it was that same almost parchmenty color.
Mm.
Yeah. So we are going to. I will be running Lindsay for this campaign, or for this session at least, because
That initiative's worse.
Oh right, because I'm dealing with 3 different rule sets.
That's fun.
Okay, so Lindsay has 22. And I am just going to be running these guys as as just bog standard because I am. Fun thing. What in the alphabetical list in the 5th edition bestiary for this game, what letter do you think bandit is under?
Probably. I don't know.
Yeah, I know it's like categorized in some subgroup, and based on the question, I'm inferring that it's not one that starts with B. But I don't know.
It is not one that starts with B.
Is it H for human?
It is C for criminal.
Oh, okie dokie, boss. Shit.
Stretch.
Okay, so who goes first? It is Lindsay. Lindsay goes first.
Was there initiative 0?
Whose initiative?
The group?
No, it's 12.
Oh, okay. Okay, now it decided to want to look correct.
So Lindsay is going to go. She's going to run forward. And then she's going to fire with her short bow at disadvantage. And is going to miss. Gorik, it is your turn.
Okay. Bonus action to rage. Because now it lasts till the end of my next turn, and I can just expend a bonus action to keep it going. Then I'm going to use my action to dash all the way down here.
Okay.
Yeah, I should have picked up a bow.
And I've got my hand axes out. I'm just booking it.
Great. It is the bandits' turn. 2 of them are going to fire at Gorik. 1 is going to go after Lindsay, 1 Marlowe, and 1 Lovely.
Great.
Okay.
So the first one for Gorik, that is going to be 17 to hit.
That is a hit.
Okay, so that is going to be 8, having down to 4 piercing damage.
Okay.
The second one, that's 19 to hit.
That also hits.
And that is 6, having down to 3 piercing.
Okay.
Against Lindsay. I'm hearing weird music.
Is it my music?
I don't know.
What's it sound like?
It's gone. It sounds like a music, like a child's music box at the beginning
Like
of a
that?
horror movie.
Is it back?
No.
Then it wasn't me.
Or
I
maybe
turned my music back on.
it was and you didn't and it stopped coming through. I don't know.
Did they hit me at disadvantage?
What was that?
Because we're 240 feet away.
Mm-hmm.
And they used a longbow, I'm guessing?
They're using a longbow, yeah.
So that's outside of the longbow's normal reach, isn't it?
It is outside of the not disadvantage one. Because the longbow's range is 150/600 feet.
Ow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they're getting 17s and 19s with disadvantage.
No, they don't have disadvantage.
Not on you.
Yeah.
They're not over 150. Oh, how close am I? No, they should be getting disadvantage against me. They're over 150.
Oh, they are.
No.
Yep. But
Yeah, and I'm 240 feet away, and they hit me with an 18 with disadvantage.
they haven't gone against you yet. They attacked Gorick twice. They missed Lindsay.
This entire fight.
Oh, from the
started.
beginning. Yes. Yes, they did hit you.
Okay.
And if you need to blame anyone on my dice rolling, you need to blame Gorick. Because he is half of the people who bought me this dice set.
Okay.
So I should be half blamed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that is 19 against Marlowe. Does that hit?
That's a shit, man.
We don't have
Okay.
very
Yeah.
good range.
That's going to be
Realize.
3 piercing.
Oh, fun. That's fun. Fun for the whole fucking family.
My
Sorry, my
Yeah.
not okay. So you know how I said that one of my sinuses was closed and the other was open? They switched somehow in the span
Yep.
of the past hour and a half.
That's what happens sometimes.
It's been like that. It was the one way all day. And now I
So-
can breathe out of the one nostril.
Lovely. With
Yes.
disadvantage, they rolled a 20 to hit. Not natural.
How much damage do I take?
Let's see about that. That's 7.
I'm down.
Well, shit.
By the way,
Do we
the
run?
the potions that Oleg gave you, 2 of them are health potions and one of them is an antitoxin.
I have 2 health potions. I just didn't get around to my turn to use any of them.
Marlowe, it's your turn.
I'm gonna use my turn to give Lovely a health potion.
Okay.
Let me
Thank you.
roll. Let me roll health potion. Potion of healing. Does I have 1? Okay. Alright, let's see. We get 1 and then. Wait, that's not what I meant to do. I meant to roll it. Did I roll this shit?
2d4 plus 2.
Yep.
I figured it out. You get 8.
Well,
That's close to max. Good job.
Oh yay. Okay, there's my turn. Ow. Shit. Ow. Fuck.
Do you want to move?
There's not really anywhere to go, and I don't want to get closer to the guy shooting at me.
Why?
Because they're currently shooting at me.
the closer you get, the harder it'll be for them to shoot at you.
Oh, that makes a lot more sense. I forgot.
The
Bows and guns don't have the same rules.
also it's the easier for you to be able to hit them.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me move my 30 feet. Or I think it's like 25 now. Okay, 5, 10.
You know, I just all of a sudden see 3 messages from a certain partner of
Certain Bladus.
a certain Marlowe,
Mhm.
and I kind of hope that those didn't all come in at the same time, but they might have.
Probably did. Because they've all been up for a few minutes at least.
Lovely.
Yeah.
It is your turn.
Yeah.
Are you going to use half your movement to stand up?
Yeah. And then I'm gonna move forward. I'm gonna dash.
Okay.
'Cause that seems like the smartest thing to do right now, weirdly enough.
Especially
Yeah.
because they don't want to get any closer.
Yeah. And that is my turn.
Okay. It is Lindsay's turn.
Is this a bad time to mention that I rolled really poorly for my healing during the short rest?
Not the best time to mention it, dude.
I have 5 health potions that I may be trying to chug on my way to these folks.
Okay, Lindsay's going to shoot with her bow.
Lindsay's gonna carry us in this fight because she's the only one who has decent range attacks. I think
She has a short bow.
it's better than I think what we have. I have to get within 60 feet to hit any of these guys with my spells.
I'm now hearing a fucking doorbell.
I cannot
That's
help you.
definitely not me.
Yeah.
We don't
no.
have a doorbell.
I really can't help you there, dude. What the hell's happening? Is mom watching a movie?
I don't know what she's doing.
She could be watching a movie.
Oh, actually, no. I think I know what she's doing. So,
What?
Skylar, when he wants to come in, he has been scratching at our back door. We bought a new back door because we needed to replace the old one anyway. It's fucking old, but we don't want him scratching up the new one. So I think, if I remember it, we did buy a couple of doorbells to try and teach him to just hit a doorbell when he wants in.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It reminds me of like my cat that had learned how to knock on the gate. And so like sometimes in the middle of the night we just hear like a banging on our gate, and everybody was like, who's here in the middle of the night? And it's just the cat knocking on the door.
My cat was able to open our kitchen door. Like he could open the screen door and the kitchen door.
Okay, with disadvantage, Lindsay actually hits. Because
Yay.
Hey, Lindsay.
Lindsay.
I just did the math. Lindsay is with disadvantage. Lindsay has like a 50% chance of hitting these guys.
Yay.
Wild.
And that would be 1d6 plus 3 for the damage. Or should I say, the wizard? That is... Damn. Guess what, guys?
Did you get one?
There are 4.
Lindsay is gonna carry us. Oh my god.
Lindsay.
Morgan, did you get the reference, instead of saying damage, saying the wizard?
I heard.
Man, I fucking hate you.
Why?
Because I just got that damn joke.
I don't remember what book it was, but it was in the 90s, and that's why you don't
Sounded
do
like the
find
90s.
replace when you change mage to wizard. In a book that talks about damage all the fucking time. Gorik, it is your turn.
All right, I have a question that is highly determinative of all of the choices I make.
Okay.
Can I choose to use my action to drink a potion of healing?
Is that going to be an action?
It's a bonus action these days, but I need to use my bonus action to keep my rage going.
Yeah, I'd say sure. You could do that.
Yeah, because you can use that as a utilized item, right?
Oh, yeah, you can.
Yeah.
I totally forgot that utilize is like a thing. Okie dokie. In that case, then, that is what I'm going to do first. Okay, that's actually incredible. I rolled a 9 on that,
Nice.
which is better than I rolled for my short rest earlier.
Yay, you're at 14. Are you still bloodied?
I'm actually at 21.
Oh, I thought you said you had 5 left.
No, I just didn't roll very well, but I had a lot more than 5 left, thankfully. I think if I move up 25, then I'm still in disadvantage territory of them. Although I don't know if Gorik would not know that.
Gorik would not know that.
So unfortunately, we're just going to move forward 30 and regret choices later. So sad.
Okay.
Mhm.
They, however, do know the range of their bows, so all 4 of them are going after Goric. That is going to be 20 to hit.
Yep.
That is going to be 9, having down and rounding up would bring us to 5 piercing for the first one. 17 to hit.
Yep. My AC is 17.
That is 7, rounds to 4. The third one. Okay, that's going to miss.
Thank God.
And then dirty 20 to hit. So that's going to be 6, halves down to 3.
Ow. Well, Goric is bloodied now.
Okay, and then can everybody move themselves up the map 30 feet? So we can just keep those bandits at the bottom as they run 30 feet away.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah.
They're running away from us?
Yeah, they're getting 30 feet away.
Um,
Well, Goric's not
30.
dumb, so I think
Wait, am I
he's.
moving the wrong way? Yeah, I'm moving the wrong way. Shit. I have to go back to the. Okay. I hate this.
here is 30 feet.
Okay, I'm just back here. This is where I live now.
Okay. Marlo, it's your turn.
Okay, give me 2 seconds.
Yeah, these guys are going to just want to keep you at distance for as long as they possibly can.
Yeah. We need to get close to them, though, if we're going to be doing anything to them.
I mean, if they ever, because I don't think any of the attacks against Goric were actually rolled with disadvantage yet. I'm optimistic that they will miss enough that Goric could tank for quite a while, but we're just not going to hit them. But if they keep pin cushioning me, I'm not going to be able to dash because I'm going to have to drink health potions, and I'm just going to death spiral.
I have some healing, and I can like be your spot medic.
Okay, I'm down to give it a try.
Yeah.
I'm nervous about going down, just because my rage has been carrying my ability to stay around.
I will. Do you want me to heal you? Because I can heal you. Yeah.
I need it. Yeah, I mean, depending on how much I get healed for, it may still be prudent for me to drink a health potion because they did through rage like 12 points of damage to me, I think.
Worm, do you do the thing where we can throw health potions at our allies to heal them?
Sure, we can do that, but if they're more than... I'm going to say if they're more than 10 feet, you're going to have to make an attack against them as an improvised weapon.
Okay.
So, yeah, you can. I would recommend against it.
Cool.
Okay, Marlo, what are you doing on your turn? Are you just move forward?
Yeah, just move forward at the end.
Did you dash so you can go 60 feet?
Oh, I can do that? I didn't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you have any...
Oh, 30. Oh, that puts me up with Goric. That's scary.
I mean, Goric's not... I mean, that's still in disadvantage range for their weapons.
Okay, well, I'm gonna stand behind Goric.
I just looked at your spells, Marlo. Unfortunately, your only ranged spells are 60 feet.
Yup.
I'm right there with you.
Yup.
Okay. Lovely. It is your turn.
So I'm going to move 60 feet
Okay.
and then use bonus action healing word on Gorek for 7 healing.
Hooray.
And that's my last spell slot.
Oh, dang. Okay. Thank you very much. I did not realize.
I have 1 more magic healing I can do, and then a couple of healing potions.
Is that your turn, Lovely?
Yeah.
Okay, it is Lindsay's turn. What is Lindsay going to do? You know what? She's going to risk it. And nope, I don't want this. I want Lindsay. She's going to go here. And that's a dash. Gorik, it is your turn.
Well, if everybody's dashing, then Gorik is certainly bold enough to dash with everybody else. Oh, this is. I wish there was a way to. I need to count.
Like, click it.
Yeah,
Here.
it's 1, 2, 3, 4.
It's that
Thank
square.
you. Appreciate it.
Do you guys see the purple lines?
I do not.
Okay,
What purple?
Not purple.
great. Good to know. Okay, it is now their turn. 2 are going to go into Gorik and 2 into Lindsay. Because they are all within normal range. So, Gorik, that first one's going to miss.
Hooray.
So is the second one, unless 13 hits you.
Certainly not. Thank goodness.
Okay. Lindsay, what is your AC? Lindsay's AC is 14, so that's definitely going to hit. And that's going to be a max damage. Lindsay is down.
Oh, okay.
Oh, God.
I will. Okay.
And then, since that was the first one, there's going to be another one into Gorik. And that's a critical hit.
Bummer.
Luckily, though, after being halved, it's only 5 piercing. And this is why I do critical damage the way I do, because they rolled a 1. So that would have just been sad. Okay, also, again, everyone move yourself back up 30 feet. Okay. Marlo,
guys
it
suck.
is your turn.
These guys do
Move
suck.
60 feet.
Can
Okay.
you feed you have an extra healing potion, right?
No.
Oh, you don't? Okay.
If you yell, so I would think that Gorik would have communicated with you, unless
Oh.
Worm disagrees that he's got a
I just
pouch.
thought I can't count any. What did I just?
I thought the potions that what's his face gave you were healing potions.
20, 25, 30, 35, 40.
You can be right next to Gorik if you want it. Oh, 30 feet, yeah. To heal Lindsay.
Yeah, I think. Oh, I have. No, that's ration.
Didn't
Okay.
Oleg give you a healing potion?
He gave the group 2 healing potions. I don't think we ever worked out who got them. But
I thought it was
could
Marlo
have.
because Marlo went to the stockroom.
That
Probably.
was not spoken into fact. So
Yeah, I just
That-
assumed it wasn't Gorik because Gorik bought a bunch
I didn't
for
make the
himself.
assumption because I wasn't smart enough to make the assumption. I'm sorry.
So
I made an assumption and then didn't communicate it. It's okay. We're all at fault here.
Yeah, yeah.
make sure you
Alright,
add
alright.
2 healing potions and an antitoxin.
So maybe you can feed Lindsay one of those healing potions.
Click.
Weirdly, they only give 2 stat blocks for Lindsay. For any of the companions. Level 1 and level 7. Fuck you if you want to have them be anything else. So that 8
No,
brings
wait.
Lindsay almost up to full health.
And then I still have 20 feet of movement.
You wouldn't be able to dash and give her a healing potion.
Oh, never mind. I'll just give her the healing potion.
Okay.
Oh, goober.
Lovely. It is your turn.
Gorik, how are you doing?
I'm bloodied again.
Okay. Let me just take a look at my character sheet to make sure I can do the thing I want to do.
I'm at a range where
Yeah, I can do it. Okay.
yeah, my choice will be to not dash and to drink a healing potion.
So I am going to hopefully save you from that. I'm going to move 30 feet. And then I'm going to use my action to channel divinity. And that is going to be
That healing ability you've got from Channel
Yeah.
Divinity.
Divine Spark, yeah. So that's gonna be a D8 plus 3. So that's for 5, 6, 7 healing.
Oh, thank
to
you.
Yeah. No
MVP.
worries. Yeah. I just wanted to make sure that I could do that at range and it wasn't a touch ability, which it is a range within 30 feet.
Okay, Lindsay's gonna get up. And then I'm actually just going to move her 1 past Lovely. It's technically a little bit more movement than she should be able to have, but she can't end her turn on your square.
Makes
So,
sense.
and then she's going to shoot her bow,
Yeah.
calling them motherfuckers.
Good. Heck yeah, Lindsay.
And
100%.
guess what calling them motherfuckers got her to roll?
I hope a 20.
Yeah.
That's
Heck
right.
yeah.
Yeah, so one of the bandits takes a arrow to the throat.
Oof.
And like it's pretty gnarly. Gorik, it is your turn.
Well, there's really one sensible thing to do, and it's to continue running in a straight line at the guys with the bow.
Okay.
So that I can move myself back 30 feet again in a couple turns.
No, very close to right about now. So they are going. It is their turn. They're going to all
they're not-
fire.
I didn't see them on the turn order anymore.
Yeah, because the first one that died was the one that the turn order was attached to.
Gotcha.
Okay, so that is going to be 14 to hit Gorik.
Nope.
That's going to be 13, and that's going to be 20.
20 sure doesn't.
Okay, and that's 9 damage, halved to 5.
Okay. They always do just enough damage that they leave me low enough that, like, I have to get healing, because if they do as much damage as they did the first couple of rounds, then I will go down, and I will lose my rage, and I will not have the ability to tank it.
Hey, Father, I have an important question.
Yes.
Why does your Kingmaker combat feel like a fucking Dark Souls game?
Because
Shit.
apparently I, other than Other than that first boss battle where I started rolling like fucking shit, this campaign has just been rolling really well.
We need a parry mechanic.
Now, if everyone would please move yourself back up the map 6 squares.
Like you should have to do that. This is like the worst part of these guys is that they're just annoying.
Yeah.
Making me move backwards.
Okay.
Uncalled for.
I feel like as soon as I make any headway on this map, I get pushed back.
Marlo, it's your turn.
Well, all I can really do is move. And I can dash and go 60 feet. Okay, we're gonna need that. Okay, 5, 10. Okay, that puts me here.
Okay.
And they're still too far away for me to do anything, so pass my turn.
I mean, close. They're only 150 feet away from you.
Until they back up again.
Yes. Lovely. It is your turn.
It is my turn. Okay. How are you doing, Gorek?
Once again in a state where I will need, if I don't want to risk going down, I will need to choose to heal. I'm getting to the point where I'm debating whether it makes more sense for me to like hang out around Lindsay while she shoots people, and at least then they'll still have disadvantage to hit because like this is dumb.
I just decided to move towards you as the bulk of my turn.
Okay.
That way I can be there to, because I still have 2 healing potions.
Okay.
And if I could hopefully get close enough to them, we'll see, then maybe I can finish them off with spells, but we don't. We'll see.
It is Lindsay's turn. She's going to move 30 feet and roll with disadvantage. Yeah, she misses. Gorik, it is your turn.
Okay. Well, I guess I'm gonna drink another health potion because they get to go next, and I'd rather not go unconscious. It's not terrible.
Okay.
Okay, and then I will do. Is it even? Is it worth moving 30 feet close to them? I suppose we've committed to this strategy.
I mean, if you don't, when they move 30 feet back, you're gonna be...
Oh no, that's. I mean, if Lovely wasn't here, I think at this point the like more accurate range of their bows is relatively determinable by how much I've been getting shot at, and so my inclination would be to back up and hang out just in disadvantage range around Lindsay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I think mechanically that is a better strategy than this. At least I would be less annoyed.
I have to fetch a
So,
thing, I'll be back.
it's going to go 1 against each of the 3 of you.
Yep.
The 1 against Gorik is a 7.
Yeah, well, that is a miss at least. That's good.
Against Lovely, that's a 21.
Ouch.
Oh no.
And that's max damage. That's 9 piercing.
I'm down. Cool.
And then against Marlo, that's going to miss. Okay, if you'll all please move yourself back.
How dare you?
What? Why do you say it like that?
It's just so obnoxious. The damage I can abide. making me dance back and forth for their amusement. Deeply frustrating.
I don't want to keep making the map bigger. So we're essentially having a scrolling map. Marlo, it is your turn. Lovely is down.
Yep.
Okay, sorry, I had to mute for a second there. So,
Yep.
Anyways, I am going to go to Lovely. I'm going to cast. Can I cast Cure Wounds? Is that a good one?
Do you have cure wounds?
I have Cure Wounds.
Then sure.
That's a 9.
Cool.
Whoa.
Back to where you were. Right before
Actually,
this
I'm
happened.
slightly higher.
Okay, so you just had less than 9 when they hit you for 9.
Yeah.
And then Marlo, that was only 15 feet. You can move another 3 squares if you'd like. I mean, you're gonna move back when they move, but you might as well move your full 30. Okay, lovely. It is your turn.
It is my turn. Okay. Just trying to see.
Do you want to stand up and move 15 feet?
Yeah, that seems like the best option at the very least.
Okay.
And then I can figure out what to do for a frickin' action. Is the best thing to do just dashing? Probably.
The best thing might be to just dash.
Yeah.
Goric will be able to move forward before their next turn. So
You couldn't you also choose to dodge as your action? I don't know if that's better than dashing practically, but I also am concerned since you've been getting walloped.
Mm-hmm. And then I'll just go back 30 feet.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you only move forward 15 feet, so it would be
Mhm.
net getting 15 feet farther away from them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
I'm
really
gonna-
glad. I'm sorry.
I'm going to move towards it. I know it's probably not the best strategy, but I just feel useless otherwise. And I hate feeling useless.
Yeah. I mean, Goric is probably going to invest in a bow after this because this is the worst.
Yeah, I was going to wait until after I got my 3rd level of cleric, but I think I'm going to go into sorcerer after this because at least I get some longer range spells in sorcerer.
Yeah, I guess my subclass should help me with mobility at least, which will help with stuff like this.
Yeah. We really suck at long range, I realize.
It's tough.
Yeah.
Okay, Lindsay's gonna shoot. And she's gonna miss again.
Damn it.
Lindsay, we need you. Please lock in.
She gonna move?
She already has.
Okay.
And unfortunately, Lucky doesn't come into effect. She didn't roll a 1.
Yeah.
At this point, it actually might be... Ooh. Marlo, how are you looking?
I have 8 hit points, 2 spell slots, and all of my weapons.
8 out of...
11.
Okay. Lovely?
9 out of 15.
Okay.
And no spell slots, no features. But I have 2 health potions.
And Gorg, what's your health at?
19 out of 27.
Okay. Guess what, Gorg? It's your turn.
They're going to have to put some respect on my name sooner or later.
Like Guy
I'm just-
Fieri.
Yeah. I did have to dash, so it's not like I can throw anything at them.
Okay. It is their turn.
Sorry.
They are going to respect you, Gorik, by shooting 3 arrows at you.
That's right. To be fair, I think I've got more health points than Lovely and Marlowe combined, so...
That first one's going to miss, but 19 is going to hit you.
Sure does.
And that's 8, rounds down to 4. I think
Okay.
the lowest I've rolled on this D8, other than that nat 20, is a 5. So they're just rolling really well. And the third one is 15, so I think that's going to miss.
Yeah, that does not hit.
Okay. Now everyone please move back 30 feet.
Yep.
It's so close.
Okay. Marlowe, it is your turn.
Keep calling on me when it's my time and when I have to blow my nose, man. Okay,
Well, it's not my fault you have to perpetually blow your nose right now.
I'm not sorry. It's not my fault. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7.
This is the first random encounter of the game.
Mm-hmm.
That's 60, right? Okay. That's it.
Okay. Well, Marlowe, at least temporarily, you're going to be in spell range soon of them. You're 120 feet away. Lovely. It is your
Yeah.
turn.
It is. I'm going to move 60 feet. I think that's 60 feet from where I was. Yeah, that is. Okay. Hi, Gorik.
Hello.
Okay, and that was a dash?
Yep.
Okay.
That's what I got.
Lindsay is also going to dash this turn because she's starting to get annoyed by this disadvantage bullshit. Okay. Gorik, it is your turn.
Okay. Let me just make really sure. Yeah, great. That's what I like to see. Okay.
That you're under 100 feet away from them?
Yes. So, because I can get within 60 feet of the front person, I am going to use my bonus action to drink a health potion and use my action to throw a hand axe at disadvantage at max range.
Okay.
So I'm going to do the healing first so I don't forget. Oh, yay. I rolled actual max on that. That is incredible. I think we should get rid of that. So disadvantage on the hand axe. I'm not going to reckless attack because that's going to be problems. And I'm not going to do it for just a normal attack. So hopefully Oral's got my back on this one.
We'll find
You
out.
know what? That's really not bad. I can't complain about that. That is a 17.
17 hits.
Okay. I'm going to do Savage Attacker because I can't use my bonus action to attack anyway. Thank God, because that was a min roll. That is 9 with my rage damage.
Okay. There's only 2 guys left.
They should have repented.
They should have.
Should we try? Well, I mean, this is not in character. If Gorik can, which seems kind of unlikely with how close and hard fought this fight is, he's gonna try to leave somebody alive to be like, hey, repent next time.
I would like to do that. Has it been, how many rounds have we gone?
I don't remember.
Has it been 10 yet?
Possibly. Why?
Because technically I should have thaumaturgy lasts a minute.
Okay.
So I could try and scream at them again and be like, maybe have a better chance at intimidating since like over half of their group is dead.
Sure.
Which would be, I believe, an influence action.
Probably.
Yeah.
Goric.
Mhm.
You are going to take 3 damage from the one arrow that hits you.
Alrighty.
And then everyone please move up 30 feet.
Bang. Hi, lovely.
Hi. I need to move up, don't I?
Yep.
Okay.
Marlowe.
I know this is unrelated to the game. I'm just gonna say my nonsense while I'm moving. Tomorrow is a holiday, but not just a regular holiday. It's a holiday in my stupid profession. And I'm a little worried about how it's gonna go down because we don't know anything.
Oh, yeah, this is the
Yeah.
3rd time Easter's been on that day in my life.
25, 30.
Yeah.
And do you know what happened the first 2 times? I was
Got
still
high on Easter.
living back in Michigan, and going to school. I had to cut through the playground of the elementary school I went to, and people graffitied the elementary playground.
My God.
That's not good.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
I used to work at a convenience store.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Just one of the busiest days of the year at convenience stores. That and 4th of July.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Lovely. It's your turn.
It is. Okay. So I am going to take a gamble.
Okay.
And I'm gonna move up 30 feet.
Great.
And I'm going to yell at them. Is my thaumaturgy still up?
Sure. We'll have your thaumaturgy still up for this round.
Okay. Okay. Over half of you are dead. Are you sure you don't want to repent? I'm sure that would be like slightly more intimidating, right?
Sure. You can roll an intimidate check.
Cool. With advantage because of thaumaturgy. Nat 20.
Okay.
All right.
It's Lindsay's turn.
Let's see what they do.
And Lindsay's going to dash. Goric, it is your turn.
I think that they are. Yeah, they are just slightly too far away. Huge bummer. Well, actually, this is going to be. Make sure that's okay. That is the right distance. Goric is going to pull out another hand axe and just dash up and use his
Okay.
bonus action to keep the rage going.
Okay. They're gonna turn and run, and they're gonna go 60 feet this turn.
Oh. Well, I guess that's sort of repenting.
By the way, you would have actually already passed the other dead bodies. Like a while ago now.
Well,
Should we just let them go?
Lindsay's in favor of that because
Yeah.
you're not going to catch up to them.
Yeah, I think
I mean, Gorek's close enough that I don't need to
I'm
catch
in
up.
favor. I'm all team.
Well-
Let them fucking go.
no, they're dashing, so
Yeah,
I don't
Gorik,
wanna-
you would have to dash to keep the distance you're at right now.
Yes.
So there's not going to be a point where you'll be able to run 30 feet and then throw your thing.
No, but I can't keep dashing for a long time.
Sure.
I think it doesn't make sense, and like Gorik would not do it. And as a player, I hate these guys. These guys are the worst.
yeah.
So,
Oh wait a
who's-
minute. Actually, where's the body of the last guy Gorik's hand axed?
probably
It would
close to
be-
the other three.
It would be right around where Gorik is now, because that was just last turn. Or it would be like at most back like here-ish.
Actually, no, it would be right in front. It would be where the token was because you guys didn't move back 60 feet yet from them running. So it would still be that 30 feet in front of you.
Okay.
Um,
What is the action economy like to take somebody's longbow off of their body and try and shoot at their friends? I still don't think Gorik would do it. So I can't
Marlo
just
might.
I can't I'm not sure I can justify doing it,
Marlo fucking might.
but I don't know. Gorik's a real pincushion and he's raging. Do it.
I don't know
Is-
if it's
is-
worth it.
is
It
Gorik
was-
going to be able to figure out how to use a longbow while raging
I
if
mean,
he's never used one before?
I'm not sure that's true. I just don't think he frequently uses one. I think and I don't think a longbow specifically. I would think that he'd used a shortbow before. So mechanically he has proficiency with
Yes,
longbows. So.
mechanically he does. But also,
So-
story is important to this whole group. I mean, well, let's say this. Who's going to drop out of combat? Lindsay is, for sure.
Lovely probably is.
I'll drop.
Okay.
Yeah, I do think I will need to drop.
Okay.
Gorik wouldn't
This
do
shit,
it.
I'm out.
Okay. Gork, do you at least go up to that body of the guy you hand-axed?
Oh, for sure. I want my axe back.
Okay. This guy doesn't have an amulet.
Interesting. I do want to
Different
take the
bandits.
longbow and arrows off of this person.
Yeah.
Okay.
Different
He would have
bandits.
about 15 arrows left. And he would have
Do they have any
14 gold on him.
do they have any identifying marks that like identifies them as a particular bandit troop or something?
Do an investigation check.
Nat 20.
Okay. Not that you can see. You don't notice anything. I'm gonna
Okay.
catch up with chat.
Mhm.
Wormet says everyone gets a +1 because it's still our birthday month.
Oh yeah.
Happy birth.
Um,
Today's my mother-in-law's birthday.
well, that negates all good things.
Do we not like
No,
Fred's mother-in-law? Oh.
No.
By the way, if you were to look at an undead that is not bound by anything and is intelligent, Jesus would not be a zombie. He'd be a lich.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. The body and the blood are just phylacteries.
And this year he rose from the dead to blaze it with us.
Um,
Like, tell me that like him just like being like body in the blood. That's just phylacteries.
I'm not arguing. That's also vampire logic.
So there will be a total of 35 gold between the 3 bodies.
Okay.
And 3 long bows and about 50 arrows. As well as traveling clothes, 3 short swords, and which kind of armor?
I'll take one of the longbows too. I'm probably not going to be very good at it, but it would be nice to have an option.
Yeah.
They have studded leather armor.
Okay.
Is there enough longbows for me?
Yeah, there's 3 of them, so one for each of us.
How are you going to split up the arrows?
How
How many
are
were there
total?
total?
50. I don't think that 50 is
No.
divisible by 3. No, 51 is.
2 people could get 16 and 1 person gets 17, right?
That's easy.
No,
take
it would be
16.
Alright.
2 would have the
2.
higher.
Yeah, 2 would get 17. I'm fine with Gorik being the 16. I think 16 should be plenty for coverage if things happen to be that long distance again.
Okay, I'll take 17.
I'd even be fine with Gorik going down to like 15 or 14 or even maybe a little bit lower if either of you want some more arrows.
I'm probably not going to be using this very often, so I'm fine taking just 17.
17's fine by me too.
Okay. So let's get back on to a
Can
normal
some-
map.
Can somebody mend Gorik's clothes?
Yeah,
again,
I will
please?
come over and start mending.
Has anybody watched American Gods?
Yes.
Do you remember the scene where the Vikings come to North America and like one guy just gets absolutely covered in arrows when he
Mhm.
steps off the beach? I imagine that's what Gorik looks like right now.
Oh yeah. I imagine it's probably like there's a lot of like mending. Unfortunately, we don't have the ability to do prestidigitation right now, but
You did
I can at
lose
least mend things.
prestidigitation, yes.
So sad.
It's okay. I'll take it when I become a sorcerer.
So you guys will end up back at Oleg's tonight. And I think now is a good time for our break. Can we try and be back in 10 minutes?
Sounds great.
Absolutely.
Wonderful. So we will see everyone back at the hour.
Okay. You know, I'm here, but I'm not here.
I feel that.
I'm trying though.
You're doing all right. I appreciate you.
Thank you. I appreciate you very much.
Thank you.
I'm
I'm
closing tomorrow.
working on do you want to send me
Okay, everyone, we are back. I am going to finish eating some food that I had, but so what do you guys talk about during the day while you're exploring?
Marlo asks a lot of weird questions about stuff that people know, like stuff that doesn't seem like people would ask questions about it. Like, do all trees have that many leaves, and can you always see them at a distance like that? Or how many birds can stay on one branch at a time? And like weird shit like that.
Depends on how big the branch is and how big the bird is.
And how big the tree is.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of variables. How many kinds of birds are there?
A
Many.
lot.
Trees.
Yeah. Like you can have birds there are birds that are like this big, and there are birds that are like this big.
There are birds you have to run away from because they'll eat you.
There are giant birds.
The land world is fascinating. I didn't realize things could get big up here like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Speaking of that, during the day, you see a bird that it looks like a bush tit. However, it has claws.
Oh, is it a shrike?
No.
What
Oh.
like? It looks like a
Like-
bush tit in size and proportions and everything, or is it like a
Yeah.
giant?
It's a little bit bigger than your normal bush tit, but yeah. But
How impressive are these claws? Are we talking like talons, or are we talking like claws?
we are talking like it's closer to avian dinosaurs than to your normal modern bird.
Okay, so that's not an average budgie. Got it.
But it's still pretty teeny tiny.
Yeah, it's fairly small.
Would Marlo notice that the feet are weirder on this bird?
No, they're not on the feet. They're on the wings.
The claws have wings, or the wings have claws?
The wings have
Yeah.
claws.
Okay, would Marlo notice that that's weird for a land bird?
I mean, Marlo wouldn't have seen that before.
Okay, I'm gonna roll nature to see if I know this.
I feel like I'm torn between Goric being decently well-traveled and also being from a place where there are just dinosaurs, so I feel like this might not be weird. to
Marlo's
him.
like, this is pretty fucking weird, guys. I don't understand. That's not normal for birds. Sorry,
Also,
go
Goric probably wouldn't have ever seen something like this either.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah.
We live in a vastly diverse and beautiful world.
Darwin never said nothing about birds with claws in their wings.
When none of us are rangers or druids.
Burb.
We're all just like, that's a funky looking bird.
Okay,
I rolled a-
moving on.
Do I learn anything with my 20 in nature, Worm?
What are you trying to learn?
I don't know. I rolled to know things about the bird.
The claws indicate that it might be a predator. The placement of the eyes, the size of the... Well, actually, no. I almost forgot. Birds, even most raptors, have eyes on the side of their heads because the whole eyes facing forward means it's a predator only works in 2 dimensions. When you add in the 3rd dimension,
It fucks the sight up. You want the eyes on the side, unless you're an owl, and their eyes are kind of angled on their face plates, and their ears are different, which allows them to.
Yeah. So the claws seem to indicate it's a predator. The size and the fact that it's sitting on a berry tree kind of imply that it's not.
Fascinating. I wish I had a Pokedex.
Lindsay, have you seen anything like this before?
You say that as I take a bite.
Sorry.
Yeah, we really need to stop asking Worm questions because he's trying to eat. We should let the man eat.
She said no. She's never seen anything like that before. But also, she's like, well, how often do you closely look at every bird you see?
I look pretty often. I look pretty closely at birds, man.
Okay.
She kind of pats your arm. If there wasn't such a height difference, you'd probably be patting your shoulder.
Oh.
But
Is it like a pity pat?
no, she does it and goes, Marlo, you're just special like that.
I
And then
just
she-
like animals. Land animals are different, man. Nobody understands. They're different.
I understand just fine. That makes you special.
Okie dokie.
What were you going to say, Lovely?
I'm starting to keep a field journal.
I just remembered on these burgers I made, we used the fancy Portland ketchup, and I think this fancy Portland ketchup has more in common with tomato sauce than it does ketchup.
That good?
I mean, I like ketchup, so I don't know if I would be like this is better or worse.
But
You
it's
know,
more marinara-y.
Overmet says it's delicious. It's too fancy for me, and it's better. You know what? Fair. I grew up a poor kid from a village. I don't like a lot of fancy food. Like, I will only eat Kraft mac and cheese. Any other kind of mac and cheese, I don't like.
My husband is the same way.
I'm a poor boy from a village.
I'm just a poor boy.
So
Who grew up on Wendy's.
we get to. I worked at that Wendy's. I got fired from that Wendy's.
That's
It is a different Wendy's.
Consider the
Ow.
bush tit.
Consider the bush tit. Can we? Does this creature have a name? I would like to name it. If it does not,
You would have no way of knowing if it has a name or not.
okay. I'm going to give it because we're founding a new nation anyways. So like we can have our own like common names for animals that we discover that we haven't seen before. Marlo, what would you like to name this creature? I'm making a Pokedex.
Okay.
So would this be 001?
Okay. This is a lot of pressure. Give me a second. How serious are we being with these names? Like, you're
That's
being
up to
serious?
you.
Okay, all right. We could be serious, like, no scientist ever.
I mean, scientists aren't always serious. There are tons of things that are just named after like video
I'm
game
saying.
characters.
That's what I'm saying. Like, scientists are hardly ever serious.
I know.
Like, science is like one of the least serious disciplines I've ever heard of.
I know, right?
Which is crazy because you have to be like functional and rational to do that one.
They've got to make their joke somewhere.
What kind of a berry tree is it on?
Fangberry.
Putting that in the field journal.
Okay. The fangberry bush tit.
Okay. On.
You don't want to call it the fanged tit?
No, father, I do not.
I like fang tit.
Okay, all right, lovely. If you want to name it the fangs tit, then we can do that. But I'm not letting my father name things in a silly manner just to make me like flustered. And also because he's silly.
I'm okay with calling it a fang tit.
All right, I'll take it. I will accept my defeat here. Cheers.
And then Lovely says, "I don't understand what's so funny. Why are you blushing? Why is this a weird thing to say? I don't understand lewd."
It's okay, cause sex ed for fish is weird.
Sex ed for fish is weird. I've been avoiding talking about that kind of stuff because my dad keeps trying to have the talk with me in dreams, and it's really weird.
Ooh. Yeah, no, I never. I couldn't. No, I couldn't talk to my regular parents about that, and I definitely couldn't talk to my mom.
Something I'd want to point out, Marlo.
Yeah. What? Am I in trouble?
Do you know what a dream is?
In theory, I've read a lot of land people, or I've heard a lot of land people literature.
Okay.
I might know what a dream is in theory, but not in practicality. I don't know one from firsthand experience. But I'll just kind of nod and pretend that I understand. It's like and I'll be like, is that like when you meditate real hard and your brains connect or something?
Well, I don't think most people have their parents visit them in their dreams,
Interesting.
but my dad sometimes does, and he's usually pretty weird. He's very into sex, among other things.
Well, I've heard about dreams. So, that sounds pretty strange. Most people dream about things like
Well, I
being
also
in
have
their
normal.
underwear in math class or their teeth falling out. Those are normal ones, right?
Yeah, I've also had normal dreams. There are definitely the dreams where I like wake up and like my face is covered with acne and I'm forced to go and walk the halls of the academy dressed only in the rags that have yet to be washed from mealtime.
Does Marlo know what
you
acne
okay?
is?
We're gonna roll for that one.
Because Marlo wouldn't have acne.
Right, because you're amphibious. What? But Marlo has hair follicles. Just not everywhere.
They think they know what acne is. They may or may not be correct, but they think they know what acne is. They're very confident that they think they know.
Question in response to the hair follicles. When was the last time you heard of a dolphin or a whale having acne?
Their skin's just too smooth.
Mm-hmm.
Nice and smooth.
That would probably be the closest to Marlo.
Yeah, but my point is that because Marlo does have hair follicles and they're no longer in the ocean, potentially they could, because acne is just your hair follicles getting dirty and then infected. So potentially now that you are no longer in the ocean, which is constantly cleaning your pores, you potentially could get acne now. Theoretically.
I don't like that theoretic. Shit.
So I'm actually gonna
porpoise skin.
I am actually gonna fast forward us to that night at Oleg's when everyone is sleeping, and we're gonna focus on Marlo for a second. So Marlo,
right.
as you are sitting in bed, because you sit when you do your 4-hour trance, but land people seem to have a thing about beds. So you've decided that you sit in beds.
It's comfy.
You're sitting in bed in your normal trance, and something must have happened because all of a sudden you find yourself jumping out of bed, like you were laying down sleeping and you were jumping out of bed because your dogs are barking outside, and all of a sudden you hear the sound of shattering glass, and a torch lands inside your house, and your house starts catching on fire.
Am I dreaming?
Are you?
I don't have dogs. I
You don't have
sleep.
dogs. You don't sleep.
Are my
And
hands my hands?
yes.
They're blue?
Yep.
Okay. I might be dreaming. I'm gonna go investigate the noise.
So like you go over to the door of your cabin?
Yes.
Okay. You can't get it to open.
Is
The
there a
flame
window?
there are two windows. There's the one that was shattered, and there's another one.
Mhm. Okay.
The flames are starting to crawl up the wall. It's starting to get really hot in here.
Okay, can I break down the door?
How would you break down the door?
Okay, before I break down the door, is the window that's broken, can I climb it? Can I climb out of it?
You could jump through it, but since the fire that's climbing up the walls is basically surrounding the window, you
Or it
probably
is. I'm gonna ram into the
remember there's
doorway.
another window.
Is the other window away from the fire?
Yes.
Okay, I'll try. Can I break the other window?
Yeah.
Okay, is it? Can I jump through it?
Yeah.
I jump through the other window.
Okay. You land on the dew-covered lawn. It is dark outside, and you hear the sound of men laughing. And as you stand up, you are hit by several arrows. And as you collapse to the floor, your eyes spring open, and you're back at Oleg's.
That was either a vision or a dream, and either way, I don't take too kindly to it.
What do you do?
Well, obviously, I have to tell Gorik and Lovely immediately.
You wake them up?
Wait, they're still sleeping? Oh, shit.
It's still the middle of the night.
Oi. I guess I'll write down the details of the dream in my logbook.
Do you like light a candle?
Oh, yeah. That's smart. Well, I have dark vision. I don't need to light a candle.
You have dark vision? Okay. Then you
Yeah,
don't need
dark
to
vision,
light a
60
candle.
feet. I don't have to wake up the others with my lights.
Okay. And then after you write it down, do you go back to your trance?
I suppose so.
Okay.
Unsettling.
So obviously you come out of the trance long before the others wake, as you always do. Do you wait for them to wake up?
Yeah, that's the nice thing to do. Gorik got shot a whole lot.
Okay. Gorik and Lovely, what does waking up look like for you guys?
I think so. Gorik is one of those really annoying people who's just like immediately fully awake.
Okay.
Because he historically would have to be up and at 'em. So he's
Yeah.
just kind of like he's up. There's not much of a process. It's just whoop.
Okay. How about Lovely?
Getting up, morning stretches, washing face, undoing my braids, putting hair in ponytail, getting my clothes on, Yeah, that's mostly it. It's not too complicated, but there's a little bit of a routine.
That's
I
so
guess
many.
I suppose that Gork would have to check to make sure all of his ribbons are still in his hair, but beyond that and putting his armor on,
Okay.
he does not really have a routine.
So, Marlo, when would you like to tell them?
I tell them everything.
I said when.
Oh, well, as soon as they're like conscious and like Lovely's done getting dressed.
Okay.
I don't. I think Gorik's immediate question would be whether this has happened before, because I don't think. I mean, I don't think this has happened yet with us since we've been traveling together.
Mm-mm. This has never happened before, right, Worm?
Right.
Okay, yeah, no, never happened before ever in my life.
I'm also going to, as one of my daily things, I'm going to change which spells that I prepare.
Okay. What is Lovely's reaction?
I find it fascinating. I think I would try and do. Can I do like because coming from a religious background, I think I would want to do like maybe like if I've heard anything about like dreams like that, um or something that could spawn somebody who doesn't normally dream to have dreams.
Okay. So, that would be a religion check then.
19.
Okay.
Very nice.
Maybe some of the more powerful spirits can. Like the gods could, but
Mhm.
the gods can do anything.
Yeah.
Archfey might be able to, although why? Same thing with devils and demons. Like a lot of the people that you would feel safe in saying, yeah, they could do that, wouldn't have a reason to.
So, Marlo, I'm
Yeah.
not sure why this is happening,
Mm-hmm.
but only very powerful beings can be able to use dreams as messages, especially to people who don't normally dream. Think gods, archfey, demons, devils, and the like.
Cool.
I don't know why a creature of such magnitude would be trying to send you a message. Or perhaps maybe they're not sending it specifically to you, you're just the one who received it? I don't know, I couldn't say.
It's probably not my ma, because ma's pretty direct with our communications.
Well, yeah, and also you would think that it would be more. You would think it wouldn't be about a house burning down.
Yeah,
If
that
it
was
was
peculiar.
from
And I was me in the
Umberly.
dream.
It's so strange.
And there was men laughing, and then I woke up.
Hmm.
Would I be able to like? This is gonna sound insane. Would I be able to make like a little like salt basin bath, like a little saltwater bath in a basin, and then just kind of sit in it and like pray to Umberly? Is that a thing I can do?
Sure.
Okay, I do that.
Okay. How long are you going to spend doing that?
Well, I figured we should probably take a day off from exploring because Gorik got shot with a bunch of arrows. So at least a couple hours.
Do you guys agree that you guys should take a day off?
I mean, I think that wasn't originally Gorik's plan, but this is kind of a big deal. So I think Gorik is happy to follow Marlowe's lead on
Sorry
this.
for usurping the day, guys.
No, I mean, this seems very much like a sort of like something that has never happened before and is scary dream.
It's all sorts of
Message.
unsettling for Marlo. Like they
Mhm.
dreamt they dreamt within it, like they were woke up within a dream. That's weird.
Mm-hmm.
There's there's levels of weird. So yeah, they're probably gonna try and pray to Umberly.
Okay. What do you say to Umberly? Like what is your praying?
Oh God, Mother. Shit, I'm having weird dreams. I'm not supposed to dream. Mom, can you please help?
Okay. Um
Amen.
there's no response. But you also weren't expecting a direct response.
No.
Just kind of hoping for one.
Okay. Before I get out of the salt tub, I'm gonna be like, okay, Mom, if there's something that I should be doing according to you, please give me a sign. Also, if these dreams have something to do with you, please also give me a sign. Um, if not, I guess I'll figure it out. Thanks, love you, Mom. Amen. Bye. Bless up. And then I get out of the salt bath.
Okay. As you get up out of the salt bath, the water kind of swirls, but that might just be from your movement.
Okay.
But it might be a sign.
It could be a sign. It could be my movement. I'm just gonna clock it as the water did a swirl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you guys want to do on this day?
Huh?
Maybe I
I'm
should get a
going to
CAT
ask
scan.
Oleg and Svetlana about the Fang Tit.
That's a good idea.
They just kind of shrug and say, "It sounds like a bird that they occasionally see. It doesn't seem to bother them, so they don't bother it. Sometimes there are small flocks of them."
Okay, I'll add that to the notes in my field journal. Travels in small flocks.
I think it might be a mimic type bird. Like it's a mimic kind of creature, like it's pretending to be a bird, but it's not exactly a bird. That's a hunch, at least. It could also be a small dinosaur. I don't know anything about animals.
Oleg
I
kind of
mean,
strokes
birds
his.
are small dinosaurs.
Oleg kind of strokes his chin and says, "Well, if it's a mimic kind of creature, there's a lot of them."
That's not good. That seems bad, actually.
I mean, birds are small dinosaurs.
Okay. I'm not as dumb as I thought, but that would be bad if they were mimic type creatures, though. That's a lot of mimic.
So you're hoping they are dinosaurs?
Dinosaurs are preferable to a bunch of tiny mimics in the woods.
I mean, they are dinosaurs. They're birds.
What if these ones have teeth, though?
Some birds do have teeth.
I don't want to know that.
And it's terrifying. Teeth
okay.
birds are terrifying.
Dottie, the player, knows that birds have teeth. I've seen birds with teeth. They're scary as shit. I've been attacked by geese before. They're terrifying. I love them. Marlo has never seen a bird's teeth before and is really not eager to find out more about that. They don't think, like, they're freaked out. They still don't think fish should have teeth. Like, sharks are fine, but, like, parrotfish kind of, like...
I mean, is that much weirder than, like, the baleen of a whale?
Have you ever seen a fish with human teeth?
No, and I don't think I want to.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That is the devil.
And I think we just relay that, like, we ran into some as you put it, ne'er-do-wells. Took care of 3 of them, and the rest ran off. And then I guess we'd share with Oleg, because it's probably relevant to them, the map that we made of the direct surrounding area of their outpost.
Oleg appreciates it. Lindsay actually spends a bit of time copying it, so they can have their own copy. And yeah, when Oleg hears about that bandit thing, and asks about the amulet, which I assume you just say no to.
Yeah,
Hey,
and then
not-
I also iterate that they didn't seem to belong to any kind of like specified bandit troop or anything like that.
He
One in
nods and he
particular.
says that, although bandits have always been a problem here, since the Stag Lord came around, there has been more bandits than ever before, and not all of them are a part of his gang.
What do you think is
Sounds like
attracting them to this
Dark
area? I mean, other than the fact that it's relatively not unsettled, but
No,
undeveloped.
unsettled would be the right word.
It's unsettled, and the largest settlement in the area is a bandit headquarters, wherever
Which-
it is.
Right.
So there's a lot
do
of
you know
bandits
of-
here.
Have you heard anything about the Stag Lord?
He is a bandit who has pretensions of creating a nation. He calls these shakedowns taxes.
Oh, so I'd gotta kill him. Okay. Alright. Alright, cool.
Yeah. It's kind of the long and short of it.
I'm already set on killing this guy shit.
Good.
Well, I mean,
you're going to be paid too.
Yeah, that's literally part of our
I know, but now I want to kill the guy more. Earlier I was just like, yeah, I'll kill him, sure. But now I want to kill him.
fair.
Like, he sounds like a dick.
Yeah. Is there anything else you guys want to do on this day, or just kind of hang out?
Yeah, I think just kind of hang out, and then I guess we could also decide where we want to go explore tomorrow.
You had talked about that hex to the right.
Yeah, we could either do that hex or this hex. I'm more inclined to do the hex immediately to the right because it's not next to the forest.
Yeah, I'm happy to do
I'm
that.
amenable to that.
That night, all 3 of you have dreams.
Oh boy.
We're going to start with Goric.
Oh dear.
You dream that you are lost in a blizzard.
Oh, so that's situation normal. This seems fine. I'm assuming I'm walking. It's well, no, yeah, I'll just like walk. Am I walking? Am I like
Yeah.
seated somewhere?
You are walking. You appear to be alone.
Would this be a familiar? Like, does this look like? Is this something that Goric has experienced before, or is this different?
So, at the start, not that unusual of a dream. But then, as you're kind of like, okay, yeah, I'm dreaming. That kind of part of Goric that is, kind of aware of the fact that he's asleep. As he kind of settles into the dream, you realize that the wind almost sounds like words. It almost sounds like a voice. You can't make out what it's saying, though.
Well, I definitely would be trying my best.
The harder that you try and pay attention, the more you are convinced there is a voice on the wind, and the more you cannot understand it.
I think, does it sound like the voice is coming from everywhere, or is it like coming from a direction? Like, is the wind blowing from a direction, I guess, carrying the words?
Um, yeah, the wind is coming from behind you.
I think that not being able to hear it just by kind of straining and listening really hard, Gorick would turn into the wind, which would suck, and kind of try and push forward that way to see if
Except as you do that, the wind turns with you.
interesting. Um, I think Gorick would probably kind of spin around, noticing that, and then I guess at this point is Gorick sure this is a dream? I mean, it sounds like he's kind of settled into that awareness, and
Yeah, kind of.
I think, although whether or not he has, I think in a sort of dream logic type way, what Gorick would do is, facing the direction that he had been walking from, so like 180 degrees from his starting orientation, he starts walking backwards because that makes sense to him right now.
Okay. Um, and then we're going to go on to Lovely.
Oh, hi.
Lovely. You are in this lush forest,
Cool.
and you are following. You only get glimpses of them,
Mm-hmm.
but you have a need to catch up to whoever it is. They have green skin. Yeah.
I keep running.
Okay. No matter what you try and do, they keep mostly out of your sight.
And I just I feel like I basically keep running until I like basically am forced to collapse in exhaustion.
Um, you do so near the edge of a pond.
Mm-hmm.
And what do you do now?
I suppose I drink from the pond. I'm probably really thirsty.
So you would first like pull yourself to the pond.
Yeah.
As you do, when you go to look into the water, a single white flower blooms up out of it.
What kind of flower?
Um, a dream flower. It does not match a flower that you know.
So it does it rise out of the pond or just out
Yep.
of the dirt near?
Out of the
Okay.
pond.
I smell it.
Um, as your face gets closer to it to do
Mhm.
that, your dream ends.
Okay.
And then, Marlowe, you start out of bed at the sound of your dogs barking.
This again. Okay. Um, is the window broken already?
As you look at the window, it shatters and a torch flies through.
Out the other window.
Okay. As you jump out the window, you can hear several men laughing. And as you stand up, you get hit by several arrows. And this time, you hear you know the phrase, "Bring him to me, throw him in the river."
Okay, that's So Probably not about me, but somebody's last moments.
And that is how you awake from your trance.
Well, shit. Alright, I write it down.
Okay. Do you folks share with each other the next morning?
Well, I'm gonna tell them the updated version of the dream. The words that I heard this time.
You didn't hear the words.
Well, I knew them in my head,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Like, I didn't hear them, but I heard them. So, the words that I knew in my head in the dream, and how I'm pretty sure, like, I just keep reliving a man's very terrified last moments in my sleep, which I'm not supposed to have.
You don't sleep.
I don't sleep,
in your
exactly.
trance.
Yeah, but I'm asleep. Keep dreaming in my trance, and that's not normal.
I also had a strange dream.
Mm.
I kept running after someone. I don't know who this person was, but I just felt this need inside of me, like this incomprehensible desire to catch up to this person. Like I needed to have them within my sight until I finally collapsed in front of a pond. And then there was a flower and I smelled it and then I woke up.
What did the flower smell like?
I can't remember.
You didn't actually end up smelling the flower. You woke up right before you would have smelled it.
Yeah. I didn't actually make it to smelling the flower.
Well, if your dream's anything like my dream, maybe you'll get to smell it tonight.
Maybe.
Dreams are sure weird, man. Do they normally follow storylines like this?
Not in my experience. Normally they're much more fragmented and strange.
Fascinating.
Not that these aren't strange, they're just strange in a way that isn't dream
They're
logic.
very linear and lucid, is what you mean.
Yes, and vivid.
Mhm.
Gorek, you were gonna say something?
Yeah, I also had a strange dream. I was lost in a blizzard, which, to be fair, that's a type of dream I've had before, but there was a voice on the wind, and no matter which direction I turned, it was always behind me, and I couldn't make out the words, and so I thought that maybe if I turned around and walked backwards, I could get close enough to hear, but I just kept walking and walking and never could make out the words, and
I want both of you to make a religion check.
Yeah.
Am I included in that?
No, because
Oh.
Marlo wouldn't know.
Oh.
But there is a possibility that both Lovely and Gorik will know what Morrigan knows.
18.
Okay.
4.
Sounds like Gork don't know shit.
So, Morrigan, what did you think when I told that dream? What did you, the player, think?
I think that that is someone that we'll be meeting in the future.
The voice in the dream, or the person who was in Gorik's shoes in the dream?
The voice on the wind for...
The voice on the wind. Oh yeah, that's Oral. That's Oral.
Isn't that like
that's just
Gorik's godmother though, or like his god?
And the way I would interpret that is that you, no matter what step you take from here on out, you're going to continue to distance yourself from the goddess that you once devoted yourself to.
That's bleak.
Ooh.
I'm just saying this from my personal experience as someone who was raised an acolyte of a god. That's how I would interpret that dream.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Like, I get it. It's just that's bleak.
Yeah, that's
pretty brutal, homie.
And just knowing your background and knowing that you do worship Oral, like, it's very clear that that's what she was trying to communicate to you is that you have, whether intentionally or not intentionally, are on a path that is going to forever distance yourself from her.
I wish she made it a little bit clearer what I've done or what the path is. I don't want that. I didn't intend for that, and I
Dude,
just don't know what to do about it. I mean, I guess I could pray about it, but Oral's usually. I mean, we'll see if she answers.
gods are fucking weird, and it's like it should not be up to us to like figure out their capricious moods and the reason they send us strange dream visions. Like,
What can I do to interpret my own dream?
Make another religion check.
Okay. 16?
The more you kind of think about it, the more an intrusive thought pops into Lovely's head about how similar to her dad she must have, how similar what she felt must be to her dad.
I
Because
start to
it
say
was
something,
that kind
and
of
then
need.
I start to say something, and then I immediately start blushing, and then I get really, really quiet, and I was like, let's stop talking about this.
I think Gork is troubled and kind of sitting with his dream, so he's okay with that.
What does Marlowe think about the additional mention of water in their dream?
Sarah's body in the river.
That was the second line. Do you remember what the first one was?
Me, Sarah's body in the river.
Yep.
That wasn't two separate commands. What? Would it be a religion check for this?
Sure, yeah.
Let's see.
I do enjoy what Kahar said.
21? Not Nat.
I would be impressed if you rolled a natural 21 on a 20-sided die. That would be amazing.
I did see what Kahar said. And what I will say is there's a really fantastic chapter in a book, Mythic Odysseys of Theros, about how to run gods in your campaigns, and a whole section about being cryptic and specifically omens that you could use to send messages. So
I do have that book. I do own it.
I am completely unbiased on that specific chapter. Just
I wonder why.
Ideas.
That's the very first thing I ever published in a book.
So, Marlowe.
Yes, sorry, I was cheering for a
Yep.
friend.
Well, water is related to Umberly, and sure, technically all rivers lead to the ocean, but Umberly is more specifically a goddess of the ocean. Not that there's an ocean anywhere around you.
So I'm probably looking for a smaller local deity, maybe?
Maybe a river spirit?
Maybe a river spirit, maybe a powerful spirit that's hijacked the local waterways. Something powerful is using the river to get what it wants.
There is
That don't bode well.
There is also something to think about. Part of killing the Stag Lord would be being able to bring proof to Restov of his death.
I was just gonna take his head. It's usually pretty effective.
Would that violate what you were told in your dream?
I don't understand now. Was the dream talking to me?
Was it?
No, I don't know. You very much confused me. Because I thought the dream, I was reliving a man's last moments, and I was hearing in my head, but not hearing, somebody saying to the men who shot the guy who I was in the dream, bring him to me, send him down the river, or throw him in the
No.
river.
No. That it would have. It was not like someone else saying to the people who shot you. You are absolutely positive of that. That
It
was
sounds like someone
So it was something in the
commanding
dream
you.
communicating
someone-
with me directly.
Yeah. And I think they're commanding you to get the man who shot that man. The person that you were.
I don't know who they're referring to, but
Question. So Marlo's a sea elf, right?
we.
For all intents and purposes, they're like nereids, right? So
Essentially.
is there an equivalent to like naiads, which are like the freshwater? Like, are there river elves? Are there freshwater elves? That may be another connection. Maybe it has something to do with your heritage and less to do with your connection to Umberley.
there
That's
thinking
would
it had-
be freshwater elves. They just wouldn't be in rivers.
Lakes, but maybe
We
the
have a
river
couple
connects
lakes
to
in
a
the
lake.
region.
Yeah.
We have the one that looks like a bird, and then we have the one that looks like a sword or a peepee. I had to say it because Worm was gonna say it first.
No, I wasn't.
You always say it first.
No, that I
Not what
would call
looks
it.
like.
I would call it a kidney, a water skin, a Nike swoosh.
Well, I don't know what you were gonna say because half the time you're like, there's a dick hidden in this map. And I'm like, okay, father, thank you for telling me how many dicks there are in Waterdeep.
See, now that you see,
Fuck.
now that I
This is
now
not
that I
a
see it,
D&D
I can't
map.
unsee it.
This is a
Now that you
Pathfinder
said
map.
that, now that you said that, Marlo, I can't unsee it.
Well, that's not my fault anymore. It's
And then the
Worm's
little
fault.
circle is like a cock ring about to go on top of it.
Oh,
Buddy,
no.
I thought that looked like a swashbuckler sword.
But the lakes are out of our purview.
No, not
They
quite.
are.
Yeah, they are.
Oh,
By the way, that pepper-shaped lake is called the Tuskwater,
okay.
and the rather circular lake south of that would be the Candlemere.
What's
Cool.
the one that looks like a bird?
I don't know off the top of my head.
Amazing.
I thought it looked like a W. Sideways W.
It looks like
Um,
the silhouette of every bird tattoo I've ever seen. Well, not every bird tattoo I've ever seen, but like a few, like the more basic ones. It looks like those silhouettes.
I mean,
Nothing
you're not
against them.
wrong.
Nothing against them. They're not my style.
Kahar says it's a dino footprint. So, yeah.
Okie dokie.
What, Well, actually, I think with the ending of the discussion of the dreams, I think that's a good place to stop. A couple minutes earlier than we had planned, but I don't think there's going to be a better stopping point in the next 5 minutes. So, thank you so much, everybody. Have a
Thank you.
wonderful
Thank you.
rest of your day, night,
Thank you,
whatever it
everybody, for coming
is.
to visit us.
Mm-hmm.
Appreciate y'all.
We love you.
And
everybody.
enjoy Easter tomorrow.
Happy Easter. Happy Blaze It. Be safe, be responsible.
However you like to celebrate.
However you like to celebrate.
Even
Be
if
safe,
it's
be
just,
responsible.
Another day to be alive.
Exactly. It just have a good Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Be safe, be responsible, be careful on the roads because people drive like jackasses on a national holiday if you're in the States.
Mm-hmm. Whether they're going to visit family or they are driving under the influence.
Or they are just on the they're just on the road. Like some people just on the road.
Yeah.
Like
And they're just bad at driving.
Last Easter on the way to my Mother's Day. We were going to my mom's house and we saw a car accident like literally like one of the last intersections on the way to my mom's. Like if we had moved 5 seconds earlier, we would have gotten T-boned by this car that just blazed through a red light because they weren't paying any fucking attention.
All of the people doing D&D that I was about to raid are all on Be Right Back.
Oh.
Well, do we have any friends who are just online that we can go visit?
Let's... You know what? There is Siasco. We haven't been to Siasco in a bit, so let's go on over to him.
Well, we get to visit Siasco.
Whee!